So recording is on. This is the SIG Network meeting for Thursday, July 12th, 2018. And let's see, we'll do a really quick run through on the test grid dashboard. I will share my screen and we can run through that really quick. Can everybody see my screen and the test grid dashboard?
Yes.
All right, excellent. So the only update I have for the KubeADM ones was that I need to find a way or find out how how to get Kubernetes Anywhere updated in those tests. Does anybody from Google know how to get an updated Kubernetes Anywhere deployed on some of those CI tests? Bowie or anybody else? If not, I'll pursue that off the call. Does anybody know what some of the new tests that have showed up are? For example, the container D1, actually that one's not as new, but I haven't seen the cost beta no SNet.
Okay, hello.
Oh, hi.
Sorry, we were fighting with the audio.
No problem.
To the question of Kubernetes Anywhere, unfortunately, I think the answer is not what you wanted. I don't have any context on it. Not even sure who I would want to talk to. Maybe the test infrastructure team here.
Okay. Well, I noticed that you had approved my pull request that supposedly fixed the KubeADM ones, or at least got them further, but I don't know how to get that actually deployed into the CI tests.
Can you contact Jeff Grafton, IXDY, IXDY?
Sure.
I say that because I'm going to be out for a while, so better for you.
XDY, you said?
IXDY.
IXDY, there we go. All right. All right, can do. For any of the GKE and other tests, is there any status on those guys?
So the neg tests are failing because it's API that's being enabled.
Ah.
In the process of being enabled, I think.
Yeah.
Let's look at the other ones.
Okay, which specific ones?
I think the SIG Network ingress GCE E2E. That one is due to an API that's rolling out.
Okay, I'll just mark that down really quick. Come on. Let me select it. It is not letting me select it. Okay. SIG Network ingress. What is it? GCE2E failures are.
So the API is supposed to roll out, but it's in the middle of doing so.
Okay.
Let's
right.
see.
So we'll ignore those.
The task. So SIG Network GKE. Click on that.
Yep. That's up. It looks like just ingress release.
Okay, it's not the same thing.
Okay. All right. Well, that's hopefully good. So that basically means that we have
yeah, that's the neg.
6 tests.
The
okay. So basically, the KubeADM ones are because of Kubernetes Anywhere. This one is the same thing, and no idea about this one. So basically, what you're saying is that the only test that we really have that is failing for a reason we don't yet know is this one, right? Because the KubeADM ones are Kubernetes Anywhere, and container DE to E, and GCI, GC ingress, and SIG Network GKE, and SIG Network ingress is all due to that API update, right?
Jing, is this no SNAT? Is that SNAT? Who do you know any context on that? What? No SNAT test?
Oh, is that? I think Microsoft created that.
Okay, then we should just ping that. Like,
yeah, let me. In the middle of the bug and aside, pin some focus on it.
No, yeah, we should actually just get annotate and see who
It's probably the
added this.
happy mask agent test.
Okay, we'll track that down.
Okay. I'm just going to take a really quick note here. Okay, I guess that's it for the test grid. It actually looks a lot better than it has in the past, even though there's a lot of red. At least that's what it seems like to me. So yay us. All right. So Feng, I think you're up on SRIOV DP CNI design.
Sure. So about a month ago, there was this demo on SRV networking model, and one of the comments made was, the communication method that was implemented to communicate the device ID between device plugin and CNI was too messy, right? Because it was a gRPC server and client, and they talk directly with each other. So I just wanted to solicit some feedback on, what if we change that to a annotation or podspec kind of based communication. So there is SIG node has this new proposal for device ID field in podspec. With that change, kubelet would be able to populate that field when we call device plugin, and then CNI can invoke with either that information from kubelet, or we can go directly read the podspec from the CNI itself. So would that be kind of reasonable design for this SRV to work?
So I apologize. I don't know which proposal or which change you're talking about. And it may have gone through without me looking at it. Can you tell me more about what that actually is?
Sure. I posted a link to the agenda, but I can post it in the chat as well. Here it is.
Sorry, Bowie, can you click on that?
Yes. Okay. There you go. Dashboard.
Well, as I understood it, Feng, when we had talked about it the other day as well,
Right.
the proposal adds device ID to the pod spec. And the issue here is that if you have an SRIOV or some other kind of CNI plugin that wants to use that information, how should that plugin get the information from the pod spec? Is that more or less a summary?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, and I think the bigger question also is, so that is in particular to, if we say this is the right design, then the question is, how should CNI read it, right? But more broadly, is this whole device ID proposal itself reasonable for Signal?
So this is Tim. I haven't looked at this proposal.
Yeah.
So I can't say whether it's reasonable or not. Just reading the first paragraph, obviously I'm not going to read it here.
Sure.
Just reading the first paragraph, it seems like the use case on its face is valuable. I will have to go off and read this proposal. But if it does what you seem to think it does, it seems like a much better answer than a gRPC service.
Right. We've actually implemented a POC that actually does this, right? Of course, we used annotation, but really it's the same kind of idea. And it seems okay. And that's why, and it seems simpler and less messy, right, than the gRPC.
Right.
So just something to take a look, and we do want to move this forward in some fashion, right? So that's the first question, and really the second thing, the second comment that was made was regarding topology information for SRV NICs, and I think that with the new resource class proposal, we can possibly solve that in some way. Of course, you still need an external system to actually apply those labels, but at least there is a theoretical way that we can do it. But the question I wanted to ask is, for use cases that do not require this feature, meaning I have a data center that has the same connectivity everywhere, would it be okay to say, as a first step, that we do not supply this connectivity information, that we make the assumption that everything is connected the same way, and as long as I can grab a SRV device, I can assume the same connectivity and make that kind of the version 1 of this work?
I would love to say yes. It's hard for me to know how applicable that is to the wider world. Like everybody else who's here who has these use cases, like, does that apply to your use case?
I would love to hear some feedback if people have some use case. We've heard from some people, at least, right, that their data center is uniform, but it would be great to hear what everybody else thinks. Yeah. But that's it. That's all I have.
Cool. Is there a thread? There's not a thread on the mailing list on this, is there?
There's not.
Okay. Do you want to start one, and that'll be a place to gather feedback, and people can then share it around?
Sure.
Yeah.
Will do.
So, probably also worth noting, we do have an alternative approach to this kind of problem with network service mesh in the way that it handles the provision of network services from hardware interfaces.
All right, can you follow up to Feng's mail, Ed, when he posts the list, and maybe give a pointer to that or a shorter explanation?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Probably both is a good idea.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right, thanks. So next up is Dane, IPv6 dual stack. Or maybe he just wanted to say that FYI, a new version of it has been pushed and that we should all go check that out and comment on it.
So I recommend anybody who's interested in V6 and dual stack to go read the proposal. I think overall the proposal is good. There's a really interesting API compatibility discussion within there that I've escalated to SIG architecture to get broader visibility on. But otherwise, I think it's a really great proposal, and everybody please go take a look at it.
All right. Were there any other agenda items or things anybody wanted to bring up?
Now that we're in the 112 cycle, 112? Yeah, 112. There's a lot of proposals that I want to try to get back to that have been sort of tabled for a while. That said, summer vacation season is really in full swing here, and I'm going to be out or not at my desk anyway for the next 3 weeks. So I'm going to try to get to whatever proposals I can between now and when I leave on Tuesday. Otherwise, people please feel free to iterate in whatever while I'm gone. Don't block on me. But I'm going to try to get to what I can there. That's my commitment on time.
What do you think the timeline is for the dual stack, Kep? Is that something that you think, given the current state of that proposal, could happen in the 112 cycle?
It could, I think, if the team implementing has the bandwidth to do it. I'm not sure what the result of the SIG architecture discussion will be. I don't expect it to be dramatically different change, but you know, you never know with these things.
Okay. And then I'm going to call out Dan Winship here for a second. Was there anything network policy related that was slated for 112 that people should take a look at?
Not that I can think of.
Okay. Just checking. All right. Any other items before we close early?
One quick one. Does anyone have a pointer to how to run the tests from the dashboard offline? I would love to be able to poke at those a bit.
Most of the tests print the command line that you should need to be able to run the tests in the test line.
Awesome. I'll go follow up with that then. Thank you.
All right. That's it. Thanks, everybody, and see you in 2 weeks minus Tim.
All right. Catch you guys another time. Bye.
Stu.
Bye.
Cheers.